Is working for me at least. Okay, so we are making an adorable wow card. So here we go. Here is my project, but wait. Santa Paws is coming to town. It is stinking cute. You are going to want to learn how to do this. You pop it open, twist it, and oh my gosh, look at that. Sending lots of love. Christmas greetings. And this is the card we're going to be making today. It takes a little bit of help to close up. The mechanics are the secret to this card. We're going to be doing first the mechanics and then we're going to be decorating. I will share with you everything that I'm using as I go along. All right, so to start, the star of the show is the sweet little stockings, and very cute and very convenient that this stamp set has the coordinating dies. So there we go. Let's see. Oh, and wow, I'm actually I'm taking a quick break here, and let's see if I can share this, update it, and just doing a quick. Let's see if I can. Nope, I can't even find myself on my page. Wow, this is totally crazy. I have no idea where I am. Give me just a second. I'm going to do some tweaking, and I'm going to share this to a group, the Online Card Club. All right, so sorry for that. I just needed to check in on the device. So we've got the sweet little stockings going on. I'm going to share with you how to make the mechanics of that card. Just to let you know, we are working with the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper, which is just adorable. It's got all the critters. It's got dogs, cats, the little mouse. There's a cute little hamster, and the sweet little stockings, of course. They're stockings on their own. And this paper is just adorable, the string of lights. And what amazes me is that this paper is still available last I checked. It has not gone on back order yet. When you flip it over, look at the beautiful graphics that you can use as well. So these are perfect for backgrounds. And then the flip side is perfect for your focal points. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to give you the information as I go along. We're going to start off with cardstock. And I've got cherry cobbler here. My first piece is going to be 4.5 by 11. My second piece is going to be 10 by 3.5. And my third piece is going to be 8 by 3.5. So for the foundation and the mechanics of the card, we need some colored cardstock. I gave you the measurements, and my tip to you, although this looks kind of complicated, I can guarantee you that if Anna Marie can do it, you can do it too. I've shared this style of card in the past, and I know it gets better after the second, third card. You keep getting better and faster at creating this. So let me share with you, we're going to start off by scoring, and to score, we are going to need my handy dandy stamp trimmer and cutter. So here's my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It is awesome because, of course, it's got all the measurements at the top. The arm extends, and we're going to need that. And it has the 2 blades that we're going to need, a cutting blade and a scoring blade. And light is the scoring, dark is the cutting. We want to get that cutting blade out of the way. We have our first sheet. It's the bigger piece. It's 11 inches by 4.25. The first thing we're going to do is score this right in half on the long side. So at 5.5, that's just going to be basic card construction for us. I'm next going to take the second largest piece, and I've kind of trapped it underneath the trimmer. And this one measures 10 by 3.5. We're going to go ahead and score this at 2.5. on the long side. So I'm going to score at 2.5. I'm going to score at 5. Right. There we go. And then I'm going to score at 7.5. There we go. So that's 3 score lines, and you can see I'm just looking right up here at my measurements. Now I'm going to take my third piece, and this is the one that measures 8 by 3.5. We're going to do some scoring on this one as well. So we're going to start off by scoring it first on the short side, right at the halfway point. So if this is 3.5, the halfway point would be 1 3/4. So I'm just going to position it right there. I'm going to be really careful that I'm using my scoring blade going right down the center. Now I'm going to rotate it. And on this side, I am going to do some scoring. I'm going to start off by scoring at 2 1/4. So right in here, 2 1/4. And before I move it, I'm going to do a little pencil mark. This is going to be a great guide for some of my other scoring that I need to do. So I'm putting a small mark, a little dot at the top and at the bottom on the 2 1/4 inch score. Next, I'm going to push up and I'm going to score at 5 3/4. So first one was 2 1/4. The second one is 5 3/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and score down, and I'm going to go ahead and mark right in there. So I've got one on the horizontal, 1 score on the horizontal, I've got 2 vertical, and what I'm going to do next is I am going to score on the diagonal. So I'm going to bring this cardstock, I'm going to rotate it. So what would that be, like 45 degrees? I'm going to put 1 dot on the track here, and I'm going to put the second dot at the bottom there. So I've got both of these dots on the track. I'm going to close that arm, and I'm going to go ahead and score. And I'm going to repeat. I'm going to do a rotation the other direction. I'm going to put the top one right on the track, and then the bottom one on the track as well, right through there. And I'm going to score there as well. All right, so I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see. I've got the horizontal score here. I've got an X right in the middle, and then I actually have 2 other vertical score lines. We're not going to do anything with those vertical, just so you know. Don't go burnishing and folding before. We're going to go step by step. Okay, so now I've got my 3 pieces. Let's start off. We scored. Now we are going to fold and burnish. So I'm going to bring in my biggest piece, and I have a valley fold that's going to go on the outside. So I'm just going to flip my cardstock over, and I'm going to fold up, go corner to corner. This is the card base. It's the standard 5.5 by, it's the standard 4 1/4 by 5.5. I'm going to put that aside for now. Then I'm going to bring in my second piece. This one measures, actually this is the smallest one. This is the one that measures 8 inches by 3.5. And the first thing I'm going to do is fold on that horizontal score line. I'm going to fold it right in half right here. And because this card needs to open up, it needs to pop and twist, I'm actually going to be carefully folding and burnishing in both directions. We want to make the cardstock really pliable. So I'm going in both directions. So folding, burnishing, open it up and fold it the other direction. And then next I'm going to do the diagonals. So I'm going to go ahead and fold, and you can see how this is going to go at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to fold, burnish, and do the same going the other direction. And then I'm going to do the other diagonal as well. And I'm just going to fold it, and I'm going to burnish it. So there we go. So we've got a big X right in the middle of the paper. So there we go. This now is going to be our mechanism that's going to make our interior pop and twist. Now I'm going to take that final middle-sized piece. This one is the 10 by 3 1/4, and I'm going to put my valley scores on the outside, and I'm going to fold down at the top, Go ahead and burnish that. And I'm gonna fold up at the bottom. So we've got a smaller rectangle here. And then the middle one is gonna go in the opposite direction. So I'm just gonna fold that over and burnish it. And I'm gonna show you when it opens up at the side. Look at that, it looks like a W, right? That's what we want. So it's alternating. So fold up, down, and up. And that is gonna be set aside. So we've done our 3 pieces. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna continue on with the mechanics of this card. I am going to bring in my card base, and I'm going to be working on the inside with the mechanics. So what I wanna do, let's see where my other materials are. I have a piece of basic white cardstock. It's just 1/8 inch smaller than the card base itself. So it's 4 3/8 by 5 3/8, just 1/8 of an inch smaller. This is gonna go on the inside of our card. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my Seal Plus adhesive, flip that over, and just bring it in here. And we're going to just attach that. This is flat attached. So this is gonna be the inside. We're gonna be able to write a message down below here. And let's see if I can pull this up a little bit. And the next thing I wanna do is mark the halfway point on the inside of the card. So I'm gonna bring in my measuring tool and a pencil. And 1/2 of 4 1/4 would be 2 1/8. So I'm going to put a little pencil mark right here at the 2 1/8 inch mark. And I'm also going to do it up at the top here. I'm going to bring that in and mark at 2 1/8. And I'm going to draw a vertical line. I'm just going to connect those dots. What I'm trying to do is find the center of the card. This is going to be my guide for the mechanics. I'm just going to draw a light line. I'm using a soft pencil that I'm going to be erasing. So you can see I've got a line going right down the middle. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in that center piece that we scored and burnished, and I'm going to help this along. This is going to be peaking right where that center of that, where those 2 lines intersect, those diagonal lines intersect. And if we bring that up, all I'm going to do is press the other ends down so you can see how it goes. Once you have folded and burnished nicely, this is going to fold on its own. You don't have to struggle too much with it. And I'm actually going to, so I'm going to pinch these, pop it up. It looks like a little house kind of with an arrow. And I'm going to bring this down, and I'm actually going to do some more burnishing because I really want this to be pliable. I'm going to take my bone folder. And if you haven't guessed by this point, this bone folder is a great helper in your card crafting. So it really helps get you nice crisp folds, just like so. All right, so, and I can see I'm a little bit off. I can try and tweak it now. You probably can't even see it on camera. It's kind of just a smidge over. It's okay. I want to share with you, if you think it's not looking perfect, that's okay. Persevere. It's going to come out in the end. Trust me, the first couple that I made, I got really frustrated thinking I couldn't do this, wasn't going to happen. And I just persevered, and it actually came out nicely. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend that line because I can see I just need a little bit longer down here at the bottom. And I'm going to bring that up. What I want to do is take this arrow, and it's going to be abutted right to the score line in the middle of the card. And then I'm going to check as a guide. These 2 lines should be right on that middle line that we drew as our guide. Now we're going to apply some adhesive, and I like the Tombow liquid glue, but I don't want to put too much. I don't want it oozing out. And then there's a balance. You don't want too much, but by the same token, you don't want too little because it won't adhere if you don't have enough adhesive on here. So I'm just going to put enough here to secure it. You can see I've got like an arrow and I'm only putting it on the triangle. Next, I'm going to close this down and it's going to be secured. I'm going to bring in my bone folder and I'm going to apply some pressure so that it makes some nice contact and it actually sticks together. Okay, so this is actually the front of our card. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So this needs glue. I'm going to apply it right in here. And again, not too much that it oozes out, but enough that it's going to stick together. Just kind of making sure that this isn't too close to the end. And I'm going to do the same as I did on the other side. I'm going to close this up, and there we go. And I'm going to, again, use my bone folder. So this is a really fun, special card. And if you are starting your holiday crafting now, you could actually make several for friends and family and special people in your life. This is not a project that you want to be doing in the 11th hour. You want to be doing this ahead of time when you can actually enjoy it. All right, so now you can see it's opening up. You can already see the mechanics of the card working. See how that opens up? So we're not quite done yet. I'm going to bring this in. And there's something, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and burnish that flat. Now I'm going to take that other piece, that W, and I'm going to fold it a little bit different. Right now I have the W. What I'm going to do is bring those two ends in. So I've got ends in here, and I'm actually going to burnish on the opposite side as well so that everything is in flexible order. Again, use your bone folder at every step. Okay, so now I'm going to open it up. I'm going to bring two sides in so the open sides are right in the middle, and I'm going to abut those so they're just right. There we go. And I'm going to bring it and I'm going to center it right on that line. It's going to be right in the center. I still have that vertical line going down the middle of my card. I'm going to align the two flaps right to the middle, and then the other edges, the top and bottom, are going to be aligned as well. That looks pretty good to me. Now I'm going to apply adhesive only to the upper right rectangle here and the lower left rectangle. Only to these two portions. You can see this is one large rectangle, but it's been divided into two. I'm only going to put the adhesive up in the upper right rectangle. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up this little flap and secure it down. And I'm going to do the same on the lower left. I'm going to bring this in. This card is just too fun, and I'm going to close that up as well. All right, so next, if we can see how this is going to work out, now is when we're going to do the checking. And I'm going to tell you the first couple of times you really have to help force it. It needs to be flexible, but you're going to need to help. And one of the things I like to do, you can see this way, is take my 2 pointers and I'm going to push so that I can lift that peak up, and it's going to be forced to close. There we go. Pretty simple. And again, I'm going to burnish it down. And you can see I have a little bit of a distressed line here, but that's okay. It's the front of our card. It's going to be covered. And look at this already. It's opening up just like it should. And when you close, it goes right in. And voila, it's working. Awesome. So there's our basic construction for our pop and twist card. The next thing we're going to do is just decorate, right? So this is the Sweet Stocking Santa Paws is Coming to Town. For the front of my card, I'm going to leave this here as my point of reference here. I'm going to use that little doggy that's on the pattern paper. So I took this blonde dog. He's got a string of Christmas lights wrapped around him, and I just hand snipped him out of the designer series paper. And I'm also going to do one of these little mice. So there's a little mouse carrying off a gift. I'm going to snip the large dog and the little mouse, and I took care of that beforehand. So voila, there's my little dog, and my mouse is going to come later. So next I'm going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. This measures the same as the inside of the card. It's at 5 3/8 by 4 3/8, and I'm going to do my layering before I attach it to the front of the card. I know, Sandy, wow! It's actually not as complicated as it looks when you open it up. When you take it step by step and you fold and you burnish along at each step, it's going to work out. Just don't panic before you get to the end. Keep persevering, as I say. So I'm going to take a pretty piece of the designer series paper. This is the one with the string of lights. On the flip side, there's a pool party plaid. I'm going to go ahead and secure that flat onto my basic white. Just going to use a little bit of seal here. This little card is stinking cute, and I'm going to come up from the base about 1/2 inch. So I'm using my grid line here, my grid paper, and I'm going to come up about 1/2 inch. I'm going to flush align it to the right, just like so. And I'm going to have a piece of pool party. This one measures 3 3/4, just like the pattern paper. This one measures 2 inches. This one's going to measure 1.5 inch. And I'm going to do some stamping on here. I'm going to put my greeting from the exterior of the card, and I'm just stamping in black. So I'm going to bring in my Memento black pad, and I'm going to use my stamp from the stamp set that says Santa Paws is coming to town. I'm just going to ink up, and I want to make sure I grab enough black ink so I have a nice solid impression, and I'm going to put it right at the base of this layer. So just going to press down firmly. There we go. Santa Paws is coming to town. I can get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of my black ink pad before I get inky. And I'm ready to adhere to the left this time. Again, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal, just like so. And I'm going to put this about 3/4 from the base. So bring it up just a tad, and I'm going to flush left align it. There we go. So next I'm going to add a little bit of embellishment. I'm going to bring in my black and white twine. This comes from the Pampered Pets ribbon combo. It's just black and white twine. I love that it's not too bulky. And I'm going to tie a bow right here at the left side, but to help me out, sometimes I struggle with the bows. I'm going to use a little glue dot right where I want the bow to land. So I'm just going to put that down. It's going to be my third hand to hold the twine in place. And let's see, just going to wrap that. Do it nice and taut. Use that glue dot to help me out, and then tie my little bow. There we go. Bring that down a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm just going to attach this little dog to the front here. I'm going to put some dimensionals. Here's where we're going to add a little bit of height. So I'm going to use the mini dimensionals. And I want to make sure that his little tail is supported and his front paw is supported. And then his little feet down here, his top of his head, and then just along his body here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal here. So I'm just peeling off the backing so that my dimensionals are sticky. And I'm going to place this right down here onto my card front. And I'm going to put his paws right over where it says Paws. And the way it works out, then I've got dimensionals below the ribbon and above the ribbon. Isn't he stinking cute? I love it. Okay, so next it is Santa Paws. So what I've done, I have stamped one of the little Santa hats. This comes from the stamp set, and I pre-colored it with cherry cobbler stamp and blend, and then I cut it. So remember, this has coordinating dies. You can use the dies, or you could just hand snip. It's small enough and not too intricate, so you could just use your paper snips. Thanks, Sandy. Okay, so I'm going to add a little Santa hat onto his head. Whoops, got caught up there. Voila. There we go. And he is going to go on the card front here. I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm going to bring that all there. I've got some ribbon on here, so I'm going to make sure I support right behind it. I know I'm out of view. Just like so. And I'm going to make sure this is aligned as best I can do, right like so. All right, I'm almost there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of embellishing. I'm going to bring in the coordinating matte decorative dots from the suite, and I love these. They're in graduated sizes, and they're in different gradients as well. So I'm going to use the cherry cobbler dots. I'm going to take one of the larger ones and put it close to the little dog. And I like to do the embellishments in threes, so I'm going to do a medium-sized dot. And then I'm going to take one of the small dots and bring it over just above Santa. So there's my card front. Now all that's left to do is decorate the inside. Remember, we're going to pop up, oh, and you know, we need to erase those lines. So I'm going to bring in my eraser and just erase those guidelines. That's why a soft leaded pencil is best. It's going to erase nicely. And the same as well at the top. This would have been better if I had done it before I attached the card front, but no worries, it still works out. So now I've got my inside panel. I'm going to continue my story. I'm taking designer series paper. These little patterns measure 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Still got my reference card right here. So I'm going to use my little stars on the third panel. I'm going to use my pool party plaid at the far left. I'm going to use my little squiggly lines and snowflakes, second panel. And I need a basic white and a little bit of decoration with that pool party right on here. And to save a little bit of time, I went ahead and I pre-cut all the little stockings from the designer series paper. This is one of the cool things about this suite. The paper has little stockings, and thank you, Stampin' Up, we have dies to cut the stockings, or you could hand snip as well. So the medium-sized stocking, let's see, I've got a large stocking for the little dog. And I stamped and colored the little dog with crumb cake Stampin' Blends. He's going to go right there. I need a small stocking for the little hamster. Whoops, that's the medium one. The small stocking for the little hamster. And I pre-stamped and colored the hamster with cinnamon cider. And then my medium-sized stocking, oh, it's already there. This is for the little kitty cat. And I stamped and colored him with smoky slate. So he's going to go here. My greetings are from the stamp set. It says Christmas greetings, and what I did was hand snip those with a little bit of white outline. And to keep you from having to watch me hand snip, I have my Christmas and my greetings. That's going to go right here. And remember, I said I wanted one of those little mice from the front, so I hand snipped him. He's going to go right there. And each panel is going to continue the message here. So sending lots of love. I just pre-stamped that from the sentiment in the stamp set, and we're going to snip those apart and place them on our panels. All right, so let's get cracking here. We can add some adhesive, and I'm just using, again, the Seal Plus right in here. And I'm going to put down my little stocking and my hamster. I'm just using flat adhesive. The card is already bulky because of the pop and twist mechanics that I don't want to add too much more dimension. So I'm using flat adhesive mostly on the inside and the embellishments on the outside of the card. So his little paws are going to be hanging right outside the stocking. So cute. And I have the longer stocking for the big dog, right like so. And I'm going to put this little toe of the stocking all the way down below. And the little dog pops out of the stocking. Now, so let's say you're not into dogs and cats and critters, and neither are your peeps that you're sending your cards to. What you could do instead, I'll show you on the next one. What you could do instead of adding the little kitty cats, you could actually put the little gifts into the stockings. And we have gifts in 2 sizes. You could add those instead, or you could just add candy canes to the inside of your stockings and do a little bit of decoration that way as well. So lots of choices. Even if you're not into the little critters, you could use the other images from the stamp set to decorate as well. And if you know me, you know I love the critters. So I loved this little bundle when I first saw it. I was crazy about the paper. And like I said, I'm really surprised that this paper has not gone out of stock yet. Last I checked, it was still available to order. And again, whoops, I'm going to need to secure that layer onto the cherry cobbler still as well. So there's that. Let me go ahead and put some adhesive on the back. Looks like I have a couple more to adhere right through here. Just like so, and I'm going to do this one as well. And this one goes right through here. And the final panel, I'm going to add a little bit of pattern paper just to ground the little mouse at the bottom. Right in here. And I'm going to come in with my Christmas and my greetings right in here. And right through here. And the little mouse goes right into the pool party area. So stinking cute. All right, so now we're just going to secure this last panel onto the cherry cobbler mechanics here, just like so. And you have the white space so that you can sign your card down at the bottom and write a personal message. And when you close up the card, let's see if I can get it to go, just like so. Here is our Santa Paws is coming to town. When I open it up, look at that. How fun is that? This is the pop and twist card that is actually fairly simple to make. So there we go. So now, sweet stockings. This sweet is just adorable. I created a card. Oh, I'm not finished yet. Silly goose. I have my second message, my sending love, sending lots of love. Here's what I'm going to do. This is just going to be hand snipped so I can put part of the message on each image. And I'm just snipping pretty close to the words. And the first panel is going to have sending. Second panel says lots. And then finally on the third panel, of love. So for this, I just added it with a little tiny bit of liquid adhesive, right like so. sending lots. And then the final one is going to be of love. Right in here. That's better. There we go. Now it's complete. Sending lots of love, Christmas greetings. And when you close up, of course, the front of the card, let's see if I can make it go closed. Santa Paws is coming to town. Too fun? You just want to keep opening and closing the card. Open and close, right? Oh, it's amazing that it works. Okay, so the entire card was created with the Sweet Stockings Suite. And I do have my Sweet Stockings card class coming up. Let's see if I can find the cards to share with you. And, oh my goodness, here we go. This is my card class for October. Register by October 22nd for delivery by November 1st. Thank you, Sandy. It is going to get easy. And you want to be making these before it gets busy for the holidays. Okay, so card class for October, this Sweet Stocking Suite. We are making this card, not necessarily with the pop and twist mechanics, but this is the card base itself. We've got a Sending Loves card. We have the Very Merry card, and the Santa Paws is coming to town. For class, we're making 2 of each. So that's a total of 8 cards. And when you register for class, you will get a half pack of the Sweet Stockings paper. You will get a full pack of the matte decorative dots, and you'll get your entire card kit cut and prepped for easy assembly. You also get a package of dimensionals because you're going to need those as well. And card class is opening tomorrow with an email, and it will close on October 22nd. It is $30 with $8 shipping. If you want to add the bundle, you can do it with no tax, no shipping. And you can also make arrangements for free porch pickup. Just let me know that you want to pick it up rather than have it sent to you. All right, my friends, so that was the Sweet Stockings Pop and Twist. I am all ears. If you have any questions or any comments, please post below. I will be snipping the video and posting it over on the YouTube channel. So if you missed anything, you can always catch the dimensions and the step-by-step instruction over on YouTube. It's just Stamp with Anna Marie as well. And I appreciate you sticking with me and finding me this Friday happy hour. Thanks so much.